Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, the American African, and today I'll be talking about my 65-day water fast. Yeah, 65 days, no food, and I survived. And I learned a lot, as you can see. So I'm going to be going over all the things I learned during my fast. The challenge was fun. You know, I broke so many limits, barriers, boundaries in my mind mentally as to what the human body is capable of. I'm looking at myself and checking myself out. You know, to me, I still look the same as when I looked when I got to 250 pounds. As of today, I'm 233 pounds. And I feel great, man. Like, even when I went for a walk to the store and all that sort of stuff, going to the gym, all that, I just feel much lighter. I feel better. You know, the only problem is like my heart be beating, but that's when I hadn't been eating. So I plan on hitting the gym again, either today or tomorrow morning, hitting the weights, see how my heart beats with food in me, you know, where it has something to tap in for energy. And I actually plan on rolling right back into another extended water fast. This was something I decided after I ate. Because after I ate, I realized, yeah, I really don't need this yet. Food, that is. You know, I have enough stored fat. It's still giving me energy. I just have to get my rest right, get my electrolytes right, get my fluid levels right, and everything works. My body does what it needs to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just wired. I'm just like, I might even hit the gym again, you know. But I've been eating though, you know, tuna and avocado for the most part, a bag of macadamia nuts. That's it. But I'm thinking about buying rice, making like a nice little rice bowl as my final meal before I go back into my fast. The main purpose of that rice bowl is rice isn't dirty food. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not dirty food, but I want something that's heavy in carbs, something that's kind of like a break from this whole extremism sort of thing. And I think that after 3 days, my body will begin to really burn everything that I've ate and start burning my stored fat again. When I refeed, I drink a lot of water. I don't even pay attention to it. So I put on a lot of water weight, you know, and it's cool. You know, I'm not tripping off of that. But man, I really can't wait to get in the 100s. It's all surreal. It's fun. It's dope. It's cool. It's entertaining. But obesity is still the focal point of everything I'm doing. It's the thing I'm studying. It's the thing I'm researching. It's the thing I want to attack. It's the thing I want to help people with, help myself with. And it's the thing I want to eradicate. And maybe that'll be like my focal point in life. I don't really know, but obesity, man, 40% of Americans have it. Childhood obesity is growing. It's just bad. See how I look after 65 days water fasting, one refeed, 2 meals. And the craziest thing about this water fast is it was fun. It was fun. Like, it was actually fun. The challenge was fun. You know, I broke so many limits. Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, the American African. And today I'll be talking about my 65-day water fast, the lessons I learned, right? Yeah, you heard me right. 65 days, no food. 65 days straight with no food. Before I go over my lessons learned, right? The pros, the cons, lessons learned, the big lessons learned, what I missed during my fast, and my plan going forward. I just want to say that I did not start off by doing 65-day water fast. No, okay. Last year, it's on my channel. I did 30 days, 21 days, 25 days, so many different lengths, you know what I'm saying? And I ended the year with a 35-day water fast, which was my first attempt at a 40-day water fast, okay? That was my first attempt at a 40-day water fast. My 65-day water fast was my second attempt at a 40-day water fast. Yeah. I was supposed to go 40 days. After 40 days, I still had strength, so I kept pushing. And I just said, I'm going to go unlimited. It was kind of my plan going forward mentally. I just didn't share it because I didn't want to jinx it. I get very superstitious, especially when I'm water fasting. So yeah, last year I did 6 months of rolling water fast, okay? Started around the same time I started this one this year, right? Beginning of the year. New year, new me. Start the year with a bang, all right? And water fasting to me is all about momentum, and it's all about taking things one day at a time. So let's start with the cons. I like to cover the negative things first because they're negative, and I want to end the video with some positivity and some what do you call it? Lessons, some philosophy, some psychology. Yeah. All right, the cons. Orthostatic hypotension. I talk about it all the time, right? Orthostatic hypotension is pretty much when you go from a crouch position or a position where you're laying down and you get up really fast and you feel like you're going to pass out. So this is hypotension related, right? Hypertension related. So it's all about salt. I kind of learned how to manage orthostatic hypotension while I'm water fasting. Just have to watch my sodium levels. Pretty simple. Sleep deprivation. My sleep deprivation got very severe around the 30 to 40 day mark. That's self-explanatory. Electrolytes and energy. It's kind of the same thing as orthostatic hypotension, except it also covers going to the gym, going for walks, going running. While you're water fasting, depending on the length of your water fast, you have to watch out for those things, okay? Cold limbs. Cold limbs come and go. Sometimes when I have cold limbs, I'll be like, maybe it's because it's cold outside, and I'll be like, but it's warm inside. Oh shit, I have cold limbs. Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with iron. I am anemic, so I push through that. I double sock a lot of times. Sometimes I wore 3-4 pants, 3-4 shirts. I push gloves in the house, hats, hoodies. There's a few times I had to wear a jacket, but you know, I push through cold limbs. Anxiety, man. I personally believe I struggle with anxiety. So it was pretty severe when I was fasting. You know, my anxiety was so bad, it was to a point where I could not concentrate on work. I couldn't concentrate. Okay, I just could not concentrate on work. My mind was just anxious. For what? I don't even know. Focus. That's tied in with anxiety. I was unable to focus on things that I need to focus on. Maybe not that I even wanted to focus on, right? Like, who cares? Who wants to really work, right? Emotional energy levels. Anytime I'm fasting, once I get deep into a fast, or even with rolling fast, I find it very hard to keep up with people when it comes to emotionally. I'm not always understanding. I'm not always patient. So my friends know when I'm fasting, hey, that's another person. Hypoglycemia. This was a big topic for me in my last fast and this fast, right? My 35-day water fast and this 65-day water fast. Hypoglycemia is when your body is just not producing enough blood sugar to give you the energy you need at the moment, right? When that happens, you feel like you're gonna faint, pass out. I could barely walk from right here to right here. You feel me? Like, that's how bad it gets. So, hypoglycemia, I suffered that. I don't know if it was once or twice on this fast, but when I suffered it last, which was during the final days, It lasted for like 2 days. Yeah, it lasted for like 2 days, but it did get better and better. You know, it was progressively better. Keto breath. I always suffer from keto breath when I'm fasting. The funny thing is, like, today I didn't have it. I went to the gym twice today. I'm fasting. I didn't suffer keto breath. Go figure. Yesterday it was bad. I don't really know. Maybe it's because I started taking stevia. You know, I took a break from stevia. Now I'm taking Zevia again. I don't know, but I think keto breath has a lot to do with blood sugar, ketone levels in the bloodstream, insulin levels. I think stevia might spike insulin levels a little bit. So, you know, I don't know. I haven't really figured it out, but keto breath can be so annoying, man. Especially when you can smell your own breath and it's kicking. I can't imagine what other people going through. And lastly, as far as cons go, physical limits. I'm a very active person. I love to bike, hike, run, go to the gym, just go out and walk places, do things, you know. I like to be moving. And when I'm fasting, can't hike, bike, run, none of that. I can, but it's very dangerous. It can induce hypoglycemia. So, you know, if I do anything, I watch my electrolyte and energy levels, and I try and take it easy. Usually cut things in half of what I normally do. So next up is the pros, right? The positives, the things that occurred during my fast that were positive, the pros. I got a cravings reset. After my fast, I tried taking ice cream and cookies. Cookies, I don't really get addicted to them. It's just that I can eat like a whole container, but ice cream, I can get addicted to it. But it's a weird thing. Sugar in general, I don't really get addicted to it, but when I take in enough, you know, it sets me off. So before I started this fast, I was actually addicted to ice cream. Ben and Jerry's ice cream, mostly the chocolate flavors and stuff like that. And after my fast, I tried taking it. The day of my refeed at night, I tried taking it, and my tongue rejected it. My sense of taste, all that, it rejected it. I ended up trashing them. So I got a reset from my cravings, and I wasn't really craving anything else that day. I pretty much ate meat and veggies and fruit, and I was good, you know. Gut reset. Your gut microbiome, man. Think of it like a fish tank, aquarium. You know, it's this whole world, right? And the reason I reference a fish tank is like you can see in the fish tank, you kind of see what's going on in there visually, but it's a whole world in there, microscopic world. You don't even know what's going on. You know, I don't want to go into too much talk about the gut microbiome, but it's very important. All right. So when you fast, since there's no food going in there, you kind of get a reset. It's not a full reset, but it's a reset enough. And I think that plays a part into metabolism, fiber, and the way your body processes food. You know, so the smart thing to do after you finish a fast is to slowly reintroduce food. I'm not saying I do it, no comment. Mental clarity. That's a big one. I'm trying to keep this short. When you're fasting, for some reason, or for a reason, right? You begin to look at life like, what's the purpose of life? Things like that. I'm gonna keep it like that, okay? You begin to reevaluate life and your life. All right, nature. When you're fasting, at least when I was fasting, I wanted to be out in nature. I just wanted to be with nature. And there was a time I ran over a squirrel, a baby squirrel. You know, and I was so devastated, man. It affected me for like 3 days, and I'm not lying. I didn't even want to drive after that. It ran out onto the road, and I saw it, but it looked like it was clearing. But then, you know, it's a baby. It just came back, and I felt it under my tires. It really hurt, man. Like I felt so bad, and I don't know. Roadkill in general is bad, but I just really felt bad. I felt like I could have prevented it. But I don't know. At the speed I was going, I don't know if I could have. All right. Drive, willpower. I mean, fasting in itself takes a lot of drive and willpower. When I fast, the things that I want to do in life, I have a lot of drive and willpower to do them. The things that I want to do anyway. Bowel movement. When I was fasting, my bowel movement was regular. Okay, regular smegular. I don't know why, but it was regular. I was pooping regularly. If it wasn't daily all the time, but sometimes it was daily. Sometimes it was 2 to 3 times a day. The poop had substance, but you know it wasn't like them loads. Keep it like that. All right. By the way, I like talking about poop. So if that is like, oh, what's that? That's just me. That's the American African. I love talking about poop. When I was in ninth grade, I was in honors biology, and we studied feces. And I learned that, man, you could tell a lot about a organism just by its feces. All right, blood pressure. My blood pressure improved. That's obvious. You know, when you reduce weight in general, your blood pressure is going to improve. Now, when I first started water fasting, my first ever big water fast was a 30-day water fast, right? Not including the 14-day ones I did before that. Like the big one was a 30-day one that I did January last year. When I did that, I noticed that, wow, blood pressure really drops. But I also noticed that it doesn't always drop. Blood pressure is still something I'm trying to figure out. But in generally, when you lose weight, your blood pressure is going to increase. Yeah, it's going to improve. Now, does water fasting improve your blood pressure? I don't know, but I will say that definitely losing weight does. Skin. I don't know if you guys have noticed, man, but my skin is clear. It's like clear, like everything. It's just clear. It's shining. I'm beaming. It's nighttime right now, so I don't know how I look on this camera. Physique. I mean, need I say more? Need I say more? Need I say more? Yeah, I'm showing off. All right. Body fat reduction. When you fast, that's what you're targeting. If you're fasting for weight loss, you're going to have body fat reduction. I mean, to me, that's the big weight loss takeaway from fasting. I didn't calculate my body fat because I don't really care. I just want to get down to a certain weight, see how I look, see how I feel, and then start working again. Small goals. Weight trend reversal. The dopest thing about fasting, and the reason I started doing these fasting gauntlets, as I call them, right, is because when you start to lose weight, and you lose weight, and you start to gain weight back, that shit is mental, man. Like, that shit is so mental. When you're trying to hop back on that horse, you keep falling and falling and falling. So what I do is I plan fast, and I'll fail. I'll try a 3-day. I'll only make it 36 hours. I'll try a 2-day. I'll probably make the 2-day. I'll try a 3-day. I'll make the 3-day finally. But then I'll say, okay, it's time. But then I won't start. That's what happened to me during fall. But eventually, you'll hop on that horse, you'll ride that bitch, and you'll have a weight trend reversal, right? So you're going down, you started going up, and now you're going down again, right? So if you look at things and you like things like numbers, graphs, charts, fasting is a beautiful thing, which covers weight reduction. You already know. Respiratory health, heart health. Man, I have asthma, right? Asthma is a chronic disease. It's not going anywhere. I have asthma. I haven't had an asthma attack in a long time, man. I haven't had an asthma attack in a long time. I've used my inhaler, but actually having an asthma attack, I haven't had one in a long time, So it's part of weight reduction, really. Yeah, asthma, heart health, and respiratory health. So as far as the heart goes, I notice I'm able to do more. I'm able to put more strain on my heart, right, without having a certain fear. Now, while I'm fasting and I'm doing things like lifting weights, heavy weights, I have to watch myself. My heart will beat really fast, but I can take it. When I was bigger and my heart used to beat really fast, it was scary, man. It was scary. So with increased lung capacity and better lung health, I can do more, right? It all works together. Barrier breaking of all limits. Man, if you say to yourself, I can't do this, I can't do that, physically I can't do this, spiritually I can't do that, mentally I can't do this, I can't do that, When you fast, I'm telling you, see life differently, and you start to realize some things. Like, one of the biggest things I realize is that science, okay, is really theory. Science is not factual. Now, that's gonna make some people pissed at me, but that's one thing I learned is that the reason science isn't the reason science isn't factual is that, let me give you an example. A man is not a woman, duh, right? Well, a black person is not the same as an African person. Things change in genetic code, and because of that, to say that this is this and this is only this, it just doesn't work that way. It's things are theoretical, which is okay. Okay, nothing wrong with that. And spirituality. I have a video on spirituality. I have a video called "Spiritual Aspects of Fasting," so I won't really cover that because I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible. In direct line to God, I hesitated writing that, but I feel like when I'm fasting, anything I pray for, anything I put my mind to, it happens. Okay? And I feel like God is listening to me. Like, my heart is tapped in, direct line. I don't want to cover it, but if you want to know, hit me up. I'll talk about it. Hit me up on IG. Lastly, the lessons learned while doing my 65-day water fast. Balancing blood pressure. I learned sodium, man. Sodium carries water throughout your body. It's part of the circulatory system. And I learned how to use sodium and how to really watch my sodium levels. Like, I have to really watch my sodium levels because I have high blood pressure. Even if my blood pressure goes normal, all it takes is a little bit of this or that and it goes crazy again. So I learned how to balance my blood pressure effectively. Managing hydration by listening to biosignals. I used to feel like, okay, I have to drink a certain amount of water each day. But I've learned that if you pay attention to your tongue tells you when you need water. In fact, my tongue is telling me right now, hey, yeah, you can go ahead and have some water. All right. And it actually tells you when it's severe and when it's like you can have some, you'll be all right without it. If you pay attention, you'll learn it. So I learned how to manage my hydration, and not listen to what they say, like, oh, drink 8 glasses of water a day. Energy balance. Yeah. Going through things like hypoglycemia, you'll learn energy balance. I learned that there's days when I can go crazy and there's days when I can't, when I'm not eating right. And I've learned that sleep is the only thing that restores my energy. Duh, right? But it's like I really learned it. There was some days I had to call off of work and just sleep. I had to just close all the blinds, everything, and just sleep. And just keep sleeping. I think there was a day, man, I might have slept like 18 hours. When I had hypoglycemia, like the second day when I wasn't healing, I was like, yeah, I gotta sleep more. Personal limits. Emotionally, physically, mentally. I learned where my limits are emotionally, right? How many people can I talk to, and deal with their issues and try and coach them, life, friends, family. Physically, yeah, going to the gym. Mentally, there was a day when I was trying to work on something and I had like strain, and I haven't felt that in I think 3 years. There was a time at my job when I was pretty much the operations team. I pretty much did all the work and I couldn't handle it mentally, and I had that headache, and that headache lasted like on and off for like 3 months. And this was the first time when I felt that again during this water fast. Purpose of meditation. I learned the true purpose of meditation. For me, meditation is an exercise where you connect with nature. Period. Simply, you connect with nature, mind, body, and soul. You get them into alignment. You realign them. That's what meditation is for me. To me, Um, yeah, I learned the purpose of sodium, as I said, managing blood pressure. It also does tie in with hydration, energy balance. I mean, yo, sodium, underrated, overrated, everything. Sodium, sugar, they're big. Sodium and sugar are energy. But if you have too much, it's detrimental. If you have too little, it's detrimental. Myths of feeding. Yo, one thing I learned? Why do they teach us we need 3 meals a day? We don't. That's what I learned. I'm gonna keep it there because there's so many videos on that. There's so many myths tied to feeding. Like what you need, what you don't need, all these things. There's so many myths. Yeah, science is funded and sometimes biased as a result. This is kind of what I was talking about before about science being theory. Let's say I want to sell you a cigarette. I can go have a study done. I can pay for it and fund it that will show some fact about smoking cigarettes. Like maybe cigarettes make people happier, right? So science is funded, right? That's a negative side of it. It's also positive, plenty of positive things. But what I'm saying is that all science is pretty much funded. Therefore, as a result, it leans certain ways. This is the same way I personally feel about documentaries, right? Documentaries are one-sided. I'm not saying science is one-sided. I'm just saying that you can pretty much find research on anything, based on if someone funded it. Obesity is a chronic disease. Obesity will always be in me, just like asthma, just like blood pressure issues. It's a chronic illness. It's a chronic disease. Even if I look skinny one day, right? I'll still be, I'll still have obesity, although I might not be obese. What does that mean? I'm obesity prone, right? I have to watch and monitor my life from now on. It starts now, and I will fail. I'll fall. It is a disease, you know? Think of it like you have a bug in you and you can never get rid of it. It's a part of you. Obesity, unfortunately, is a disease. Can it be cured? Maybe. But so far, there is no drug to cure obesity. Once you're obese, it's in you. I think it even changes your genetic code to some extent. This is, my thoughts though. Believe what you want to believe. Lastly, the big lesson learned. Fasting and weight loss in general, but fasting, since this is about a water fast, is a mitigation to a problem, but it's not an elimination of your problem. I'm still an overeater. I'm still addicted to food. I still suffer from heavy weight regain periods from binge eating. I've mitigated the issue, but I have not eliminated the issue. That's going to take work, but one day at a time. Right now, I'm still enjoying weight loss, every day. When I get to maintenance, we'll talk about it. Don't worry. It's a lot of talks about maintenance. Obesity is chronic. Already covered that. It does not fix eating habits. And it's progressive, though, because it's thought provoking. Meaning, although it's only mitigation, it's progressively helping you fix your problem because it's thought provoking. When I'm fasting, I'm reading books, I'm talking, I'm learning because it's thought provoking. Like it makes you think, it makes you think about life. It makes you think about what's important, what's real. When you don't have food in you, you're starving. You begin, it's like, I hate to use this analogy, but it's like how they say when you're on the deathbed, right? You think about life. You think about what's really important. All right. And lastly, what I missed. right? I miss cooking, food exploration, being a foodie. I missed it. And this was the first fast I did, first extended water fast I did, where I did not look and watch food, vlogs, videos, posts, out of sight, out of mind. Um, I don't know why it worked, because I've done a 35-day, 30-day, I don't want to give the long list, while doing all the food stuff I normally do, other than, of course, cooking, but like watching food vlogs and all the cooking shows and everything. But yeah, anyways, I miss it. I miss running, hiking, biking, right? That's part of my lifestyle now. I'm happy I found those hobbies. I couldn't have found those hobbies and engaged those hobbies had I not lost all the weight that I've lost so far. By the way, I'm at 240 pounds lost so far since April 1st, 2019. Okay, mental and emotional energy. Yeah, I missed being able to connect with people, talk about issues and really be engaged with them. When you don't have food in you, you just don't, I don't want to say don't care, but my tolerance levels were so low. My threshold was so low, you know. So let's cover social eating real quick, because that's kind of tied into food exploration. Yeah, I couldn't go out and eat with friends, family. I go to someone's house, they cooking, they eating, can't partake in that, and then everyone thinks that I'm starving myself, like I'm taking things to extreme. So this one, being able to not be in control, right? When I'm fasting, I feel like I have supreme control over my life, every aspect of it. Like, you ever seen The Matrix when Neo stops the bullets? It's like that. Like, I'm allergic to bullshit. Like, nothing's moving unless I say it is. I'm not doing anything I don't want to do, right? So, being a modern human being, as a modern human being, we're controlled by algorithms and all this sort of shit. But again, when I'm fasting, I'm in the Matrix and I'm Neo. You know what I'm saying? That's what I miss while I was doing my 65-day water fast. So, lastly, the rest of my weight loss plan for 2021. Now, this stuff changes. I literally wrote this last night, and it was just a tangent thought. Like, it wasn't like something I had been planning, right? So I finished a 65-day water fast. Next is a 17-day water fast. Now, I'm currently doing the 17-day water fast. Today's day 6. The reason the water fast is 17 days, right? Such an odd number, is because for my job, I do something called going on call, right? And when I go on call, I just want to have some food in me, because sometimes shit can get rough when I'm on call. After that 17-day water fast, right, I'll refeed, right? Because I'm be going on call, and I'll probably do some social eating, and then I'm going to engage in a 6-day water fast. Now, the funniest thing about me is this 6-day water fast is actually during the period when I'm on call. Okay, I'm breaking my water fast 2 days before I go on call, or 3 days, 2 or 3 days before I go on call. And then I probably will feed for 1 or 2 days. I don't know yet, but it's probably gonna be 1 day. And then I'm gonna get right back into the water fast with the 6-day water fast. It really depends on how I feel energy wise, how my body's reacting, all that sort of stuff. Maybe even how much I weigh. After that 6-day water fast, it will mark 90 days fasting, right? The 65 plus the 17 plus the 6. I know that does not equal 90, but there's 2 days of feeding, okay? There's 2 days of feeding. So with the 2 days of feeding, that marks 88 days fasted, 2 days fed. So it's 90 days in that 90-day period of rolling water fast. So at that point, I'm gonna really take a break. This is my theory. I might change my mind. And then I'm gonna try sicko and OMAD. All right, sicko is calories in, calories out. So I'm gonna do OMAD with the maintenance mentality, right? Sicko. I'm gonna be watching how much I eat, because being that I'm an overeater, I can do OMAD and still overeat. So I have to watch myself, right? And for the rest of my life, I'll pretty much be doing sicko The difference is at some point I'm going to be able to know how much energy a food gives me without having to look at the nutrition label, because I'm going to end up eating the same foods over and over unless I go out and socially eat or food explore or cook something new. So after that, I'll get into maintenance test 1. Last year I did a bunch of metabolism testing, and that's pretty much a period in which I try and just live without thinking too much that I suffer from obesity, right? During this maintenance test though, I will still implement at the very, very minimum sicko. At the very minimum sicko. I call it cycle sometimes. And then at the end of maintenance test 1, I don't know how long maintenance test 1 might be, probably one month. At the end of maintenance test 1, I will evaluate, okay? I will evaluate and decide, is the way I'm doing maintenance good enough, right? Maintenance test 1 is important because that'll be during the warmer times, and I'll be doing a lot of hiking, biking, running, going to the gym, all those things. And when I do those activities, right, they make me want to eat more. They make me want to do more of this. I call it mania, and I call it weight loss induced mania, or water fasting induced mania. I go into this spin where it's like I'm just always excited to get up every day, and I'm just always ready to go out and do things, right? And after I'm done doing those things, I eat, and then I relax, and I work. And then at the end of the day, I do more things, right? I might go for a run, then hit the gym, so many different things, So maintenance test 1 and evaluation will be important to see, have I changed? So yeah, guys, it's your boy, the American African. This has been the lessons I learned during my 65 days and in a water fasting state, man. 55 days in ketosis, 65 days in fat adaptation mode, 65 days without food, 65 days with just water, vitamins, apple cider vinegar, a little bit of lemon squeezed in water, and Zevia, which is a 0-calorie carbonated soda, right? And all those sort of things, they don't kick me out of a fasting state, despite what you read or what you heard. You can see the results in my body and all these things. So this is what I learned. These were the lessons that you too can take away. Might learn something, might help you in your own obesity journey, weight loss journey, whatever. That's why I do this, you know what I mean? Just kind of sharing what I've learned along my way and on my journey. I'll catch you on the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.